Apparently Japan, there's been a lot of censorship that's been happening. I think that we all know this, is that there's been censorship that's been affecting anime and manga. And obviously, you know, this has gone on now for probably like at least 5 years, but you're starting to see Japanese people starting to become cognizant of it, seeing their media change as a result of it trying to appeal to overseas viewers, or more likely overseas Twitter users, etc. And so finally, it looks like Japan is banning that type of censorship. So I'm very, very glad to see this, and I think everybody should be. No, I do not want some annoying Karen on social media telling me what anime I'm allowed to watch. Absolutely fucking not.
At long last, I can be the bearer of good news instead of bad news.
Imagine
like,
that.
Oh my goodness, man. It's been too long. I'm always delivering bad news after bad news after bad news. But here we go. We actually got something I could talk about that, you know, will bring people a smile.
Okay, let's see it.
No interference in creative works. Japanese government proposes new policy for anime and game expansion in the West.
No policy for game expansion in the West. Thank God. No interference in creative works. It's so obvious. It's so reasonable. Thank fucking God. And I think that's the Freeman Starforge PC too.
This is huge. This literally just came out today. This is literally breaking news. It was by the Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry proposes new policy guidelines for the Japanese content and anime industries. Very, very good.
Could this be related to the Square layoffs? I think that there is a sentiment in Japan. This is, I don't live in Japan, I don't speak Japanese, but this is so, I'm only looking at what's translated, and I don't have like, you know, like a unique insight to this. But it seems to me that there is a growing sentiment that's happening in Japan where people in Japan are upset that Americans are both consuming Japanese culture and also, in another way, consuming Japanese culture, where they're trying to edit out, push away, and try to, you know, rough off the, you know, the rough edges of Japanese culture that they find to be abrasive. And I think that that's earned a lot of resentment from the Japanese people. That's what I think has happened. Trying to appropriate it? Yes.
So let's just get right into it.
Like literally cultural appropriation.
This October, the Japanese Ministry of Economy, Trade, and Industry held its 8th Entertainment and Creative Industrial Policy Seminar, during which it proposed 5 key principles of its new policy guidelines for the Japanese content industry, including video games, anime, manga, film, and music.
Of course.
As reported by Otaku Soken, the new guidelines have been announced as part of the strategy to achieve the government's goal of expanding the overseas market size for domestic content to 20 trillion yen by 2033. This comes only a month after the Japanese Business Federation, Keidan Ren, issued an urgent message calling on the government to provide immediate, large-scale, and long-term support for the country's content industry. The 5 key principles of the entertainment and creative industries policy are listed as follows. Number 1, large-scale, long-term strategic support.
Smart.
Support efforts to spread Japan-made content to the world.
Yeah, this is how you have soft power. You know, like the USAID, where we get to do trans Sesame Street plays in Iran. I don't think that's how you have soft power. Soft power is Freerin, not transsexual Sesame Street.
Interference in the content of creative works. That's the big one.
Soft power is Black Myth Wukong.
Prioritize those willing to take a challenge. In light of recent events, especially aggressive content restrictions and global pressure from payment processor firms, the third principle of the policy has been attracting attention in particular. As explained by Meti, the government's goal is to invest in IPs, human resources, and digital technologies, as well as support international distribution networks and overseas investments into building fandoms. Consequently, the third principle was suggested to reassure creators that their freedom of expression will be protected.
That's the big one.
Government backings does not imply that the content of their work will be meddled with in any way. Huge W. Like, just straight up huge Japan W. Like, big W right here. Big W for the Japanese government. Big W for anime creators.
I think it's people are just, this is a win for anybody who doesn't want to have things edited by people that don't care about the media. Because fundamentally what you have are people that are coming into a space that they're not really part of, and they're trying to edit, change, and manipulate that space to make that space congruent with their worldview. And I think that just generally, there's a lot of resentment for that. I don't think people want that. That's not something that like an average person is saying, oh, please censor me more. Please change this, make this different. No interference in the content of creative works means what exactly? It means that in the process, I'm assuming, and in the process of localizing things like this in Japan over to the United States, that you're not going to have, censorship of certain topics or certain types of sexuality, for example. Basically, like, they don't get to censor things because it's problematic in one way or another. I mean, that's what I'm guessing.
Manga creators, for artists in general in Japan, this is a huge W for freedom of expression, creativity
people do what they
within
want.
Japan. Because obviously when government starts to get involved with things, there's always this worry of like barriers to block you from doing certain things or stop you from being free or doing what you want. And the fact that the government is reassuring creators that you, just because it will be government backed, does not mean we will interfere or stop you or meddle with your work is amazing. They legitimately want no interference in the content of creative works.
Like, this is a pretty good example, right? Is like a lot of people in the West complain about fan service. And for people that don't know, fan service is basically just gratuitous sexuality that's added into the story just for the sake of gratuitous sexuality, right? That's basically fan service. And it's like, my solution to that is very simple. If you don't like anime with fan service, don't watch it. Period. Don't watch it. There you go. Problem solved. It's literally that simple.
Basically, to not force anime and manga to censor itself.
So this apply to those fucking English VAs that'll purposely change lines to push an agenda? No, it won't, because they probably already fired because they got replaced by AI. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you don't need to worry about them.
Expand overseas.
But it should, yes,
that is
theoretically.
This is probably some of the best news we could have gotten as of late, especially for just what we have seen continuously.
Yeah.
We have definitely seen the uptick of just like this continuous rampant censorship on Japanese content.
True.
That's not including other
Very
areas
true.
around the world, obviously. There's a lot of other stuff I could speak about. But what I'm saying is we have definitely seen a lot of Japanese content get censored.
Well, I think the reason why is that a lot of Japanese companies are now prioritizing international audiences over their own audiences. And I think that's probably creating a lot of resentment within the Japanese culture and inside of Japan, because they feel like now, because of the larger economies of overseas audiences, that their media is being changed in order to accommodate them. That's what I think is happening.
And the fact that Japan has obviously been aware of this for years now, it has been an ongoing issue that has been
Which makes sense.
escalating.
I'd feel
over
that way
time.
too.
And I think it finally just escalated to a point where it no longer could be ignored. You have Japanese officials in the government that were even elected, that one of their core principles and things they fight for is freedom of expression. And I am really happy to see that with the new leadership in charge, because there was recent elections in Japan, you can see that there is definitely some massive changes going on, that there is definitely a fight for creative expression and freedom within Japan, because it's big. I mean, I made a video like 2 days ago talking about how Japanese is like, entertainment industry is like its biggest moneymaker. It's bigger than anything else from Japan. And so it makes sense that Japan would want to expand it even more to make more money as a country, but also to protect it for it doesn't get interfered with or distorted.
Well, it's also that the people that are trying to change it are oftentimes not the people that are actually the consumers. And this is another really big issue, is that basically a lot of the pressures to change Japanese media comes from people that are not necessarily consumers of Japanese media. This is coming from a payment processor, or it's coming from an HR department at a company. So really, and you think about it, right? If you're changing content that's Japanese in order to make it more Americanized, like, yeah, obviously you want to have subtitles, etc. But people are looking to consume content that comes from Japan because it's content that comes from Japan partially, right? Obviously the quality of the stories is good, but on top of that, I think that people like the idea of, going after and looking for content that comes from another culture. I think it's something that's very interesting. It's gross. Yeah, I mean, there it is. And Australian Karens, yes, exactly. It's Japanese, yeah. At the end of the day, if you don't like it, then either make it illegal or deal with it.
Destroyed by rivaling companies or countries or whatever. They don't want to see stuff like that happen. So this is just fantastic news. It's a big freaking W, hands down. There is literally no negatives about this whatsoever. But let's continue reading. Furthermore, Clause 4 of the policy proposal suggests that there will be more transparency behind the support process, meaning less reliance on intermediate companies and more of the support directly reaching those involved in the creation and popularization of content.
Just removing middlemen, that's obviously a good thing.
As for the reasons behind the new policy proposal, METI cites merger results in its previous efforts to expand the overseas market size for domestic-produced content. While some of the measures did show results, METI suggests that they were still at a low level compared to other countries like South Korea. The ministry commented they weren't able to expand the stock of tangible/intangible assets and raise labor productivity and wages to a satisfactory level. And are hoping that the new policy helps Japanese-produced content conquer the world. So, more or less from what my understanding is that they are in direct competition right now with, like, South Korea and even China when it comes to, like, the animation department and entertainment and stuff that's coming overseas. And, obviously, they want to make it to where it's more lucrative for people in Japan to work with Japan instead of work with these other countries and make more business with Japan. That's at least my understanding. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this and I'm stupid. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But regardless, overall, Japan is taking a massive step in trying to protect its actual creators, the people that drive its industry. I mean, once again, I want to point out that the entertainment industry in Japan is so massive. It's like one of its big leading moneymakers.
Well, it's obvious. I mean, obviously, like everybody watches anime in the whole world, right? I mean, like, isn't like one of the Saudi Arabian princes, isn't like one of his profile pictures an anime girl? I mean, like, what are we talking about? Like, it's a worldwide phenomenon. People love it. So, yeah, obviously Japan, like, their entertainment and their media is a huge export. The same as American media and entertainment is. Absolutely.
The entire country.
Just the way it is.
So it would make sense that there is laws on the ground.
Osama bin Laden watched One Piece? Yeah, that's right. Osama bin Laden liked anime. I forgot about that.
On floor to try to protect their industry. It's just
that says a lot.
Common sense. It makes complete sense. It's nothing that seems like, ludicrous or fantasy.
Yeah. No, I'm being serious.
It makes sense. And the fact that you have politicians that recently got elected that I've even talked about on this channel about the situation, obviously, it makes sense why, them being elected, they would fight for something like this. It's just, I'm very happy, man. I'm glad I could share this good news, dude. This makes me so happy to see an article like this. Now, I do want to make sure I state this, though. From my understanding, this law is not passed. It's a policy that has been proposed. I
would expect that.
I'm assuming it needs to be voted on to some degree. I don't know exactly how the whole policy structure in Japan works. I'm not going to act like I do.
I'm an
American. I'm not going to act like I understand all the politics of Japan. That is ignorant of me to do.
Who the fuck knows?
However, I'm assuming that, judging by the wording and stuff, it is a policy that's been introduced thanks to the new change in hands in the government with the new elections and stuff like that. And now it's going to be getting voted on. And I'm assuming with just how much support has been behind protecting creators and how vocal a lot of these politicians have been in Japan as of late, I'm going to assume it's going to pass. That's my educated guess. I mean, you have one of the biggest people that are leading Japan's economy right now that is a straight up like weeb. Like, I believe there is literally like one of Japan's like ministers. She is a weeb. Like, she loves 2D over 3D. Like, I might show a picture on screen to prove it, but basically, it's very obvious these new politicians or politicians that are in control of Japan right now, they love anime, they love manga, they want to protect it. That's good news. That's good enough for me. I'll leave it at that, though. Thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy, leave a comment to help with the algorithm. Chibi out.
Well, some stories do have a good ending. Thank God. I'm very glad they're doing this. I think they needed to do this a long time ago. And I'm glad that it's finally happening because you have payment processors, and again, the payment processors will bend to the law. They always do and they always will because they don't want to lose the money. So obviously they'll try to push whatever agenda they have, but whenever very big economies like Japanese economies just say, oh yeah, we're not going to be okay with this, well then they say, oh okay, never mind, we'll do exactly what you want. So that's really what I think is going to happen. They need to make this a law immediately. Yeah, I guess so. Senator Takashi Prime is a minister of Japan. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of. I know the prime minister was like a more right wing, like Japanese nationalist, which is like kind of what I would expect from somebody in Japan. But yeah, I saw this a few days ago. I did want to watch it. I never really got around to it, but I did want to show you guys this. I think it's a huge fucking W. It is amazing. Good on them for stopping culture rot. That's right. That is exactly what it is. It is intentional, basically culture rot. That's what it is. It's culture rot, and it's a rot that's created by an external force that has no business doing that. They're not invested in the product. They're not invested in the media. They are just simply trying to make as much money out of it as possible. And I think that is an amazing thing. I am very, very, very happy. So this is a huge W. I'm glad, and I hope that, now we'll probably see less anime censored and less video games censored as well. More like a virus spreading? Yes, it's the same rot that affects game studios. Exactly. It is the Karen rot that we have. But that's it. What's the external force? Karens? Yeah, it's Karens and busybodies that are trying to tell everybody else what to do and how to think. So that's generally what it is. You playing Dispatch today? No, I'm probably going to take a break and chill out, do some other stuff, but I'll probably be back on tomorrow and maybe do some stuff back then too. I don't know exactly what my plans are for tomorrow, but I'm going to take a break, relax for a little bit, and I'll be back on tomorrow. We're going to do some other stuff then.